Aircraft down, General Mills parking lot. Plane is on fire and occupied.
Hey guys, I think America have a problem. I don't know why nobody's talking about this, but all of a sudden, food processing plants all across America has been burning down since last year, and nobody talks about it in the media. If you ask me, this is the biggest travesty. I'm going to put a link below here for you to do your own research and find out what I'm talking about here. Since the beginning of this year, there have been 19 food processing plants burned down in this country. 19 of them. In April alone, we've had 5, and the month is not over yet. Last month, we have 6. In February, we had 7 of them burned down. And the news media has been just so quiet. The only person that has spoken about this, and I give him credit for that, is Tucker Carlson. He's brought this to the attention of Americans, but Americans are not paying attention to it. They are more interested in trying to find out what the court cases about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is all about. They are getting more views than Americans going hungry if this madness is not taken care of before it gets out of hand. How do you explain 2 planes crashing into food processing plants within a week in America? You can call it coincidences and all you want, but that processing plants where people have been getting their food from has been burning down just like that. I don't think food processing plants have been a high-risk business whereby the owners of these plants were worried about the fire in the past years. All of a sudden, fire become their biggest problem. If it is not ignited from their workshops, planes will fall in there and break them. Just them alone. Just take a listen to what Tucker Carlson have to say, and we'll take it from after that.
So just moments before we went to air tonight, a plane apparently crashed at a General Mills plant, a food plant in Covington, Georgia. 6 tractor trailers were reportedly on fire. You're seeing pictures from the scene right now. This is the second time in a week that something like this has happened. On April 14th, the plane crashed into the Gem State Processing in East Idaho. What's going on here? Well, the story gets weirder. Food processing plants all over the country seem to be catching fire. A couple of days ago, a fire destroyed the headquarters of Azure Standard, one of the largest organic food distributors in the country. At the end of last month, a fire severely damaged a fresh onion packing facility in South Texas. In Oregon, a potato chip processing plant just reported a boiler explosion that sent workers to the hospital. Here's a news report on that.
Eastern Oregon, where crews are battling a major fire at a potato chip processing plant. Air 12 flew over the scene at Shearer's Foods on Highway 207 in Hermiston. We're told the fire was caused by an explosion of a portable boiler there. 2 people were taken to the hospital.
So industrial accidents happen, of course, but this is a lot of industrial accidents at food processing facilities at the same time the president's warning us about food shortages. They're getting hit by planes and catching fire. What is going on here exactly? Jason Rance hosts a radio show in Seattle and joins us to put it into perspective. Jason, good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah, obviously, when something happens every so often, you obviously hope that there's no significant damage and certainly no one gets hurt, but you kind of write it off. It's not that big of a deal. Accidents happen. But when you've got well over a dozen food processing plants and warehouses getting destroyed or seriously damaged over just the last few weeks at a time when the food supply is already vulnerable, it's obviously suspicious, and it could lead to serious food shortages. That's why some folks are now wondering, well, number one, what's going on? And you've got some people speculating that this might be an intentional way to disrupt the food supply.
Wait, may I ask you to pause there really quick? Can I just ask you, I just want to nail this down so our viewers understand. There have been confirmed over a dozen disabling accidents at food plants in the last month, over a dozen.
Absolutely. And we're talking about some really significant plants. The Taylor Farms facility in Salinas, California was completely destroyed by a fire last week. We've had two major potato processing plants in Belfast, Maine and Warden, Washington that were completely gutted, which is happening at a time where we already have a potato shortage globally. You were talking about the onion supply at that Rio Fresh, but it's not just produce plants. Last month, there was a fire that took out a Nestle food plant out in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and that's impacting frozen food brands like Hot Pockets or Stouffer's, which maybe you might buy if you can't get fresh food from a warehouse that just exploded. And that Shearer's food facility you just mentioned in the open, I mean, that's the only West Coast facility that they operate. So there is some significant concern, of course, that this is going to impact the supply chain. Now, to be clear, the timing is very suspicious. It's obviously concerning. Police are saying that these fires are due to faulty issues with equipment, so they're not saying that this was intentional. Either way, it's obviously going to have some significant, implications in us getting our food.
Yeah, I mean, an hour ago, a plane crashed into a General Mills facility. We'd already planned this segment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The onus is on people who think that's a conspiracy theory to explain what is going on. What are the odds of that? I have no idea. Jason Rantz, I appreciate your report tonight. We will follow up.
Thanks, Tucker.
I think this is interesting that the guy that Tucker is interviewing is trying to tell us that the government is saying that these are all coincidences, that they have faulty equipment and stuff. I did not say they don't have faulty equipment, my friends, please. But look at the list here and tell me what you think. From August of last year to December of last year, we were having one fire per month on food processing plants. In January, we had 3 fires on food processing plants. In February, we had 7. In March, we had 6. I think it's 5 or 6. And in this April, we already have 5. Guys, this is not something that... What changed is the question. What changed? What equipment do they have this year that they didn't have last year and the year before that or the year before that? The plant in Salinas, California has been operating for 27 years. Never had any issue. The General Mill in Georgia. And that's not the only one. Take a look at here. Look at the list. This list was made before the fire in Covington, Georgia. The plane crash. Just look at this. Now you see, America is a very, very resilient country. Take a look at the list of some of the fires that have taken place in this country. There is the one we're talking about from General Mills in Georgia. It happened in Covington, Georgia. That was April the 21st. There was another one in April 18th. This one happened in Dauphin, Oregon. Now pay attention. You see, people are telling us that something is not right. On April 13, 2022, Gem State Processing, which is in Hebron, Idaho, also got their own factory there burned down as well. That was where the other plane crashed, killing the pilot instantly. Food that we eat here, from cabbage to onions to kale to melons to greens, this is where they pack them. And there's been so much of that. I'm going to put the link below so you can go read up on all of this. I think it's about time we start making calls, guys. America is about to go hungry. The biggest problem America will have is to have food shortages. I think that this is the biggest crisis that America have at this time. Every American owe it to himself to call their congressman, call their governor, call their senator, bring this issue to their awareness. Bring this issue to their awareness now so that they can get ahead of this madness before it gets out of hand. Because if this issue should get out of hand, America will experience the thing that they normally see on TV. Those things that America normally sees on TV, they will begin to experience it live. And I'm telling you guys, this is a nightmare that America will prefer to avoid. America will prefer not to see this nightmare. The effect of it alone, the probability of this being a reality is too dangerous to even contemplate in this country. In a country where more guns are in private hands than in the government institutions, for that country to go into food shortages is going to be so dangerous, because a man will not have the means to get what he wants and not use it. A man will not have the means to get what he needs to feed his family by any means necessary and not use it. That is where it becomes dangerous to even think about this nightmare becoming a possibility on the soil of America. And Americans are not paying attention. They are more interested in trying to see what happens to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. They are more interested in watching soap operas on TV, looking at their phones. And our president is fiddling while Rome is about to burn. Nobody seems to pay attention to this. Is this being orchestrated by some people that want food prices to go up? Or is this just a coincidence? This is a very, very interesting coincidence, if this is a coincidence. Very interesting coincidence. I'm going to put the links below. You go read it for yourself and see what is happening. And write your comments below. Make phone calls to your senators. Make phone calls to your leaders. Tell them this is about to get out of hand. It is not happening only in America, even Canada, all around the world. Food processing plants are just catching fire just like that. And nobody seems to care enough to talk about it in the mainstream media. Only Tucker Carlson. CNN is not talking about it. CNBC is not talking about it. ABC, CBS, none of them paid attention enough to bring this thing to the attention of Americans and let them see that there is a problem on our doors. May God bless this country. May God bless the people of this country and save every one of us from what probably may be, what probably may happen. But if there's anything we can do to avert it, we ought to start doing something about it now. If America is going to be destroyed, it will not be from without. It will be from within. And it is going to be due to events like this where something serious is happening while the people are being distracted with something that have no thing to do with reality. Being distracted with something that have nothing to do with the price of tea in China. While the thing that will actually impact their lives is happening right under their own noses. Like, hit subscribe, and tell us what you think about this issue. If there's any way we can collectively help this matter. But I do believe that this is the biggest problem America have had in recent years. Thank you, and God bless you.